Well, in case you didn't know, it's bird's eye view. Here's our bird. Not a real bird.
Perfect. Okay. So today we're going to be talking about Game of Thrones and how each character in Game of Thrones is stupid in one of their own personal ways.
And don't get me wrong, they're all stupid.
Oh yeah, side note. There's going to be a lot of spoilers in this video, so if you haven't caught up to Season 5...
Too fucking bad.
...of Game of Thrones, you should probably not watch this video. Actually, yeah.
Actually watch it and let us ruin it for you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because we don't care.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
Who would we like to start with? Tyrion. Oh, that's a hard one.
Yeah.
That's a hard one.
He's actually the most cerebral character.
Yeah.
Ah.
Oh. Okay, so Tyrion. What is stupid about Tyrion? Well, Tyrion, he killed his dad. That was good.
I didn't see any fault with that. I mean, at that point, you got to do what you got to do.
He made a good, like, he bonded with his brother, which ultimately saved him.
And then that relationship's kind of ruined.
Is it ruined?
Oh yeah, Jaime's pissed.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Because his dad.
Yeah.
He's the golden boy.
He made enemies with his sister, so.
Well, his sister was always an enemy.
Yeah, so he's an enemy with Cersei. He's an enemy with Joffrey.
Well, who wasn't?
So yeah, I mean, honestly, I can't find much that's stupid about Tyrion. Tyrion, he was stupid with Joffrey in the fact that he made such a large enemy out of him, but Joffrey never actually did anything to, like, kill him. It wasn't until Joffrey died, and Tyrion was basically set up, that Tyrion really started to fail at anything. And Tyrion doesn't seem to have that much ambition, to be completely honest with you.
I would disagree. I mean, as soon as he starts getting involved with the battles, when he gets the mountain folk to fight with him, and he starts realizing that he can manipulate the situation more so than he's done to this point in his life, and that can allow him to, in some ways, be the bigger man that his height will never let him be. I would say from that point on, you kind of see the ball rolling as he gets closer with his father, as he becomes the Hand. He actually gets pretty ambition-driven, albeit for the most part with good intentions. But if you're watching that, the only time he doesn't is after he gets accused of murder, in which case he gets all that negative feedback from the rest of basically the kingdom, and as a result he kind of feels like, does anything I do for you people matter? Yeah,
he's kind of put into a lot of very tough situations, and I can't think of too many actual, like, direct mistakes he makes. He's very political. He's a good strategist. Obviously not a great fighter, but he somehow manages to get out of most of the battles fine. His biggest mistake is just making enemies, because he's not afraid to talk shit. So, to be completely honest, he is political, but it's more of a strategic type of political. As far as, like, his interpersonal relations go, he makes enemies out of people like Joffrey and Cersei, who are two very, very powerful enemies. And he's also sort of made enemies with his father. His father hated him before he did anything, really. But those are three very, very powerful enemies.
I don't know. I don't have as much respect for Cersei. I mean,
Cersei's good at what she does. She sucks. But,
to an extent. I mean, look at the last season when she tries to command her Uncle Ken to
Kevin, Uncle Kevin.
Yes.
Stacy's favorite character.
Uncle Kevin.
Uncle Kevin.
Uncle Kevin. And I love how...
Uncle Kevin.
What an awkward name for Game of Thrones. We have Eddard and all these other people who I can't think of right now. And then, I'm Kevin.
Uncle Kevin. Uncle Kevin Lannister.
But what I like about that is, like, you really see how much of a facade her power is that she tries to show when she sits there and goes, and you will be the head of the War Council. And he's like, I don't see your son. So no, I won't. Where is he? And she's like, oh, he's not coming. Well, he's like, well, I'm leaving.
Later.
Bye.
Yeah, but I mean, to bring it back, Tyrion, his only real mistakes are making enemies. Because if you look at someone like Littlefinger, he has a lot of enemies.
Oh my god, don't even get me started on Littlefinger.
He has a lot of enemies, but he doesn't let them know they're enemies. He manipulates them, and he works behind the scenes when they don't even know that he's going against them. Tyrion is a little bit too honorable in the fact that he's like, you're a shit king. You need to stop controlling things. You're a piece of shit. And that gets him into trouble, and that's what, you know, his hatred was so wide known against Joffrey that enabled the grandmother of the queen to set him up so easily for the assassination. So that is why Tyrion is stupid.
I guess I could agree with that.
Okay, Tyrion's stupid. Next.
Cersei's the next one.
Cersei.
Well, that's easy.
Yeah, she's just a bitch.
She has too much pride and arrogance. She's actually not very intelligent at all.
She's too passionate. Like, she decides she hates someone, she does everything she can, she'll sacrifice resources, she'll ruin other alliances, all just to kill or completely screw over somebody else. Yes. She's selfish. She cares a lot about her children.
Which is the only thing she cares about besides getting the bone from her brother.
Yeah. But everything else she does is stupid. Like, her dealing with the king, I mean, she was in a bad situation, and she found a way to basically set up the king to be killed. Then she ends up in a place where she's trying to...
Well, that's the best part, is she didn't even set up the king to be killed.
Yes, she did. Well, she had a hand in it.
A very small hand.
Well, she had him inebriated and unable to defend himself from the boar, which killed him.
I still... I will wait to get to that point, but...
But, Cersei's biggest flaw, which I just had a second ago, what the fuck? Cersei's biggest flaw is that she was, completely unable to control Joffrey, because Joffrey, which we will get to soon, completely brought himself to death by just being a complete psychopath. Like, Jesus Christ. Joffrey, she couldn't control Joffrey, and she only seems to have one way of dealing with things, which is, you need to stop right now. And if they don't, like, she just keeps yelling at them. She doesn't, like, know how to politically deal with
people. He is
people.
so messed up in the head that he is almost on the same level of mice and men.
Yeah.
Because if you ever read the books... He literally sits out in the yard with a crossbow and shoots bunny rabbits that are being released from a cage.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Yeah. That sounds about right. I mean, at least that wasn't, like, damaging him politically as long as no one was watching that.
And what he did with the hookers? I mean, come on!
We'll get back to Joffrey. But Cersei, I mean, do you have anything to add to Cersei other than her failing to control Joffrey, burning alliances?
My biggest thing with her is her arrogance. And, I mean, especially what you see in Season 5, the biggest thing that... When alluding to her power, you completely see that it was all her father. It had nothing to do with her. She acted like she had the right friends and the ability to control everything, but it was really people who were just kind of like, yeah, we'll play along because your 60-year-old father scares me more than you do.
Yeah, she basically rode the coattails of her family's power. But she abused it.
That and Robert's. Yeah. I mean, she that's all she does, really. She's a second fiddle.
She completely abused it. Yeah, and she honestly did more damage to her family than even Tyrion did, and he was doing it on purpose. She was trying to defend her children, but at the same time, she just made so many enemies that everyone, like, the hatred for her family was maximized by her amount of idiocy.
Yeah.
Yeah, she blows.
Like, even when you see her, when, I can't remember the crows, or... The sparrows. The sparrows.
Oh, the sparrows. Oh,
oh
my god, you totally just... Oh, Jesus.
When they had her imprisoned, and they're like, confess. Now, you know what? I can understand the resiliency in that situation and not wanting to bend and confess, but the stupidity of sitting there going, every time, I will watch you die. I'll be the last thing you see as you're getting
her
shit
her
smacked out of
power
you.
trip is just amazing. But she created that whole thing. She used the state to fund that in order, like, that's exactly what I was saying. She just makes these tactical political mistakes because she hates the queen so much that she creates this religious fanatic organization. She used the state to fund it, and just so she could imprison the queen. And then she ends up getting caught in it because she's an idiot and she doesn't exercise any control over it, and she ends up creating something even worse than having the queen.
You know, for once, maybe she should have a thought, take a few seconds, reflect on it. Maybe think about its consequences.
Yeah.
First of all, he went to the Night's Watch.
Dumb. That was the first mistake. Let's spend a minute on that mistake. That's dumb. You're a Stark. You're a great fighter. You're honorable, you're decent politically, not the best, but you're not terrible.
And your father is definitely the type of person who, even if you can't bear his name for whatever reason, he's going to set you up.